Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Tortoise Reptile right here on YouTube. Hey guys, today's episode we're going to be going over my top 5 ways you can make sure your tortoise is both happy and healthy. Also guys, we're going to be doing an Under the Shell segment where I answer one of your questions right here on Tortoise Reptile. But wait, stop, hold the phone. We're also going to be doing a bonus tip, a bonus way to ensure your tortoise is both happy and healthy at the end of the video. You're going to want to stick around for that one. Let's get started. Okay guys, so this video is important because tortoises have the ability to hide illness very well. So this video is really important because it'll show you ways to ensure your tortoise is both happy and healthy, and then also for you as an owner to do your due diligence to make sure that your tortoise enclosure is, well, exactly where it needs to be. And if you guys have made it this far in the video, can you please do me a favor? Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and don't forget to get that notification bell a nice bing, because that shows you when the next video I post comes up and you get notified right away. Alright guys, the first one on our list here is measuring and monitoring tortoises' weight. You can do this once a month, and the rule of thumb with tortoises' weight is that you want to make sure that they have either a plateaued weight where they haven't really gained anything, or they increase in weight, which is a good thing. What you want to be afraid of and worried about is a drop in tortoises' weight. Now I'm not talking 1 to 3 grams, I'm talking something like 20 to 50 grams plus. This could be a strong indication that your tortoise is both not happy or healthy. In addition to this, guys, a tortoise's weight is a better indicator of positive growth rather than the size of that tortoise's shell. Just because your tortoise may not be as big as the one next to it, it's not a real indicator that that tortoise may not be healthy. Rather, let's focus on that tortoise's weight. The way I measure and monitor my tortoise's weight is with a gram scale, like this one right here. Now, this is a generic gram scale. It's not reptile specific, so you can get it at most places, including Amazon. Okay guys, for number 2 on our tips and tricks to keep your tortoise both happy and healthy, we're going to be measuring our UV light emitting and our temperatures throughout the tortoise enclosure. And to do this, we're going to need 2 separate tools. We're going to be using this temperature gun. Now you just a point and shoot, and then you have your reading on here, and then you can measure how hot or cold your enclosure is. It's important to do this throughout your entire enclosure so you can get an idea of the cool side and the warm side, especially under the basking bulb. Why is this important to make sure your tortoise is happy and healthy? Well, as the temperature changes in your house because of whether it's wintertime or summertime, this is a good way to find out if your tortoise enclosure is too hot or too cold, and that may make your tortoise unhappy or unhealthy. Next up, we're going to be talking about this. This is a UVB meter. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to measure our UV output from the fluorescent lights that I have in here that emit UVB radiation. Remember, UVB helps your tortoise metabolize the food that they eat. So it's a simple button. It's real easy to use. The sensor's right here on top. You set it down underneath your light, and then you hit the button, and then you get your reading. Simple as that. It's really easy to use these things, guys. This temperature gun is a little cheaper than the gauge, but if you're serious about keeping your tortoise happy and healthy, it's a good idea to pick one of these up. Alright guys, one more thing to note about UV bulbs is you want to make sure you're checking those every 6 months, because the life expectancy of those bulbs is about that time. Now, you're not going to be able to notice a difference visibly because the light will still emit light, but you want to make sure that you're checking that bulb for radiation output. Okay guys, number 3 on our list is soaking. You want to make sure that you're soaking your tortoise regularly, especially as hatchlings. You want to do this like once a week. If you have adult tortoises, you may want to do this twice a month. The importance of soaking your tortoise is to make sure that they are getting that hydration, that this helps them defecate if they haven't done that in a while and prevents impaction from occurring. This warm water that you put in your tray or tub here will allow them to kind of get that process going. The do's and don'ts of soaking are as follows. You want to make sure that your water level is shallow enough so that way their head can be above water without having to try to stretch their legs. Another thing to consider is the temperature of your water. You want to make sure that your hand, you can tell, is about bath water temperature, where it's not so hot that it will burn yourself or burn the tortoise in this instance, but you want to make sure that it's not cold. The time that you soak your tortoise depends on how hot or cold that water is. So you're probably looking at about 5 to 10 minutes of soaking. You don't want to leave them in there too long where the water gets cold and you could risk a respiratory issue or other illnesses, but you don't want to take them out as soon as you put them in either, because they won't have a chance to process and do what they're supposed to do in their soaks. Alright guys, coming in at number 4 for our tips and tricks to keep your tortoise happy and healthy is a diet, a varied diet. You don't want to give them the same thing all the time. Otherwise, you won't be getting them the full spectrum of nutrients that they deserve. Now, I feed them spring mix like this one here, but I also do other mixes too, where it's collard greens, I'll do dandelion greens, and of course, summertime I want to put my tortoises outside so they can graze as much as possible. Also, you can find charts like this one right here online and print these out like I did with these, and this tells you everything your tortoise should have along with the balance of what they should have as far as percentages. Remember, some tortoises require fruits and vegetables, others require proteins, so it's a good idea to make sure that you're feeding them that full spectrum. Also, as a supplement, like a plus here, is supplements. You want to make sure that you're feeding your tortoise Missouri diet, the Arcadia tortoise chow, and other sort of implement things that you can put in there, and don't forget your calcium. It's also important, and this will keep your tortoise happy and healthy. Let's move on to number 5. Okay guys, number 5 on my list is Husbandry Pro. This is an app that I've been using for a long time. I've preached about it here on the channel many times, but the beauty of having an app like Husbandry Pro is everything we've talked about thus far in this video can be tracked right here in the system. I'm going to do a quick walkthrough, show you how it works, and we'll talk about how it benefits your tortoise to ensure they are both happy and healthy. Okay guys, so you can see here, this is the home screen. Now this has all my animals in it. You can add, customize, make this different however you want to, but you can see here all of the different animals in my house here. And then you can click on any one of them. So let's click on the redfoot tortoises. So we'll click, oh, we gotta do it right here. Okay. So we can view it. And guys, this can be used, it doesn't have to be just use a computer. You can use it on a tablet, you can use it on a phone. Really, any mobile device that has a camera setting that you can scan QR codes, this app you can use it on. So the way it works and the way it's constructed is all of my enclosures have these QR codes, and I'll show you what they look like. Hang on here. So if you look right here at my dart frog enclosure, you can see it has this QR code. You simply scan that code, and then this stuff will pop up here on the screen, like this. And then, that's it guys, it's that easy. You can, as soon as you scan that QR code, you can see the last time it was fed, what it ate, the last time you weighed them up. I mean, you can customize all of that stuff right here through Husbandry Pro. And this is designed to be for zoos all the way down to the private breeder or reptile enthusiasts like you and I. So I really promote this stuff a lot. Yes, they are a sponsor of Third Coast Reptile, but I want to show you guys everything that's going on here. So with this, you have the QR code scanner here. Now this shows the scan. This is what you'll be using for your reptiles. This is your feeder inventory. You can also manage how much you have left. That way you guys can, decide whether or not you need to auto order. You can do that through here. If you just want to manually type stuff in, you can do that as well. You have your, your featured animals. These are the animals that you have in your collection. Then today's feedings. This is a nice feature too, because today's feedings will tell you, okay, these animals need to be fed today, and that can go with, the soaks that we were talking about. Maybe it's time to measure that UV bulb. You can do that on that day as well. You can schedule everything. It makes life simple, organized, and consistent. That way you know everything's going on. The last thing I want to talk about with Husbandry Pro is, say your tortoise is sick and you want to take it to a vet. Well, you can bring this with you on your phone or tablet and show the vet the history of when that sort of health decline went. Whether it was when you weighed your tortoise last, or maybe it refused to feeding, you can document all that stuff here in the notes section as well. Their pricing. Now, if you go here to the, let's get there, husbandrypro.com. Okay guys, with Husbandry Pro, I am an affiliate. Now if you guys have 5 animals or less, it's free. It's a free product to use. But if you're a breeder, if you have more than 5 animals and you want to use all of the features in the catalog, I'm going to supply you guys with a affiliate link where you guys can click on the link and it takes you right to Husbandry Pro and they'll hook you up with a little discount. Now, this helps Third Coast Reptile as well, because if you use the link instead of going online, the percentage of that goes to me where I can put it towards my reptiles. And that helps everybody out. So check out the link in the comment section here and I'll take you right to Husbandry Pro. Now guys, it's time to do an Under the Shell segment where I answer one of your questions. Got questions? Then get your answer right here on Under the Shell. Alright guys, today's Under the Shell segment comes from Rockman865, and Rockman asks, hey Third Coast Reptile, 2024 was a good year for Third Coast Reptile. I think the same thing. What are your plans for 2025? What sort of projects do you have in the works? Appreciate you and what you've done for the reptile community. First off, thank you so much. So my plans for 2025 is to get more involved in the reptile community. I feel like doing more volunteer work, getting more hands-on, doing some stuff for zoos, maybe some nature centers, and then also doing some more consistent videos for you guys, getting more more videos, more places. Obviously, you have to plan as opportunities present themselves, but trying to do some interviews behind me here. But that's kind of my plans for 2025. I really feel like the more viewers I get, the better. But the more outreach I get in the community, I think that's more important. So we're going to focus, Third Coast Reptiles about, conservation, education, and exploration. Well, I want to work on those conservation, exploration aspects and kind of highlight those in 2025. So if you guys want your question answered, you can do so in one of 3 ways. Number 1, you can ask your question right here in the comment section of this video. Number 2, you can go to the Third Coast Reptile YouTube community chat. And finally, you can go to the Third Coast Facebook page and ask your question there. All right, guys, let's wrap this up with that bonus tip on how to keep your tortoise happy and healthy. Okay, guys, as the bonus tip here to keep your tortoise happy and healthy, we're going to talk about sight barriers. Now, in my Egyptian enclosure here, you can see I've got this long piece of driftwood in here. This is the sight barrier that I use in here. And the purpose of sight barriers in general is to keep your tortoise engaged in the enclosure itself. And it keeps them occupied. Now, you can have an enclosure without a sight barrier. That's fine. But happy and healthy, right? So having a sight barrier keeps them curious, keeps them interested in what's going on inside the enclosure because they can't see to the other side of the enclosure. Now, a curious thing you can do, I want you guys to try this at home. put in a sight barrier like this and put food on the other side of the sight barrier out of their sight and see if they come over and check on the food, because I bet you they will. Tortoises are very good with smells and colors, so they can actually smell the food on this side here with that sight barrier in place. Okay guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we got some new stuff coming up here I'm really excited about, and I'll show you guys that in the future. That's it. Thanks guys. Bye now.